Okay, we're going to come sitting. I need you to do anything you need to really to make yourself comfortable. So Claudia, you might want to sit on a bolster. Just if you're feeling stiff to start off with, just elevates your pelvis a little bit, makes it more comfortable for you. A bit easier to sit upright and open your hips. Okay, right. Okay, so this is a class designed to support our hormones. So quite often with yoga, we think it's got to be harder, bigger, stronger. And you know, that's a trap that I've fallen into a lot with yoga myself. I feel like I've got to have a specific outcome. It's got to be really dramatic and jazzy. But at the end of the day, yoga is just a tool. And we're going to use it in this particular case to support our thyroid hormone, which is particularly poignant for Claudia and I, and our adrenals as well, which really for a lot of women who are multitasking, adrenal support is really important. Because yeah, we're even in a place like this, which looks really beautiful, and people are like, they've got nothing to worry about. It, you know, it comes with its stresses. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to support our hormones, and everything that we do in this practice is based around that. And the other thing about yoga, which distinguishes it from other types of physical practice, is that we move with the breath. And that really feeds into support of the adrenals. We can look at our breath, we can come to our breath, and whenever we feel that we are anxious or stressed, we can come back to our breath, and it's really, really simple. So we're going to start just by looking at the breath. So I want you to take your supports and put them to one side, and then I want you to come to lying on your back. You bend your knees, and you pull your heels in towards your buttocks. They don't have to be right at your buttocks, but just bend your knees, pull your heels towards your buttocks, and then just bring your attention to your breath. And to help you focus on the movement of different parts of your abdomen, I want you to put your right hand on your stomach and your left hand on your chest. And then just start to think about your breath. And then what you might notice is that your abdomen rises slightly before your chest. So one hand rises slightly before the other one. And I don't really want you to alter it in any significant way, just notice what's happening. Okay, so now that you've brought your attention to your breath, I want you to take your hands to one side. And what we're going to try and do is an incredibly simple movement, combining our breath with a movement. So I want you to take your hands from the position by their sides, outstretched. I want you to take your hands and arms and raise them up by your sides. As you inhale, as you breathe in, raise your hands up and then lay them behind you, and then as you breathe out, bring your hands and arms back to the start position. So you're breathing in, raising your hands and arms, breathing out, coming back to center. And what I'd like you to think about is synchronizing your movement. So try and finish your inhalation as the backs of your hands come towards the floor behind you. And then finish your exhalation as your hands come back down to the mat. So you're moving with your breath. Fabulous. And after your next exhalation, if you just leave your hands down by your sides and then make your way up to sitting, however's comfortable. So I would like you both to move into a wide-legged child's position. Well, actually, no, I want Claudia to move into a wide-legged child's position. And then I'm going to give Michaela some other instructions. So possibly a little bit further back on your mat. Yeah. So if it's uncomfortable for you, just pop any kind of bolster, whichever works best, behind your knees. And then you're going to stretch out. So just give me a minute to describe what we're doing, and then I'll invite you to stretch out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some partner work. And the idea behind this is that we often think that someone else is a healer, or someone else has got, can give us something in terms of creating wellness. But I want everybody to be empowered to think that they can heal themselves, and they can give something in terms of an energetic quality to somebody else, particularly somebody that we care about, and we're actually all friends. So we can just give that to the other person. So what I'm going to invite you to do, Michaela, is to, when Claudia stretches forwards in our wide-legged child's position, I'm going to invite you to move behind her and then just put your hands on her kidney area, so her adrenal fatigue, and then just give her some love. I'm sure you can do that. Okay, so if you just stretch out, and you make it as much of a stretch as you want, so you don't have to go mad, but you just make it as much of a stretch as you want. And Michaela's going to sit comfortably. You're okay to sit comfortably there, aren't you? You don't need support. And I am going to make it a double bubble, because I'm going to massage your hands. And then I'm going to invite you to swap over. So, Claudia, who is a nurse, is going to become the healer in an energetic way. Yeah, whichever mat you want to use, yeah. Okay, just make sure that you're comfortable, Claudia. So if you, again, if you need to pop something behind your knees, just do that. Okay, fabulous. Thank you. So we'll all come back to our mats now. And so that practice works really well when you know someone and you don't have to be particularly skilled to do anything like that. It's a really nice thing to do with children or partners, and if you are in an intimate setting, you can do it with friends as well. But I like the idea that we're all healers and we all have something to give in an energetic sense, particularly. Okay, so another really simple movement that we're going to combine with our breath. As a culture, we all hold a lot of tension in our neck, so we're going to look particularly at some neck releases. The other thing that I'm going to comment on now is the chainsaw. So, you know, we can have ideas about how perfect things might be and, you know, that life is going to be perfect. Lots of people will think that we're here in Bali, life is perfect, it's tranquil, but it's not, it's just life. And you can use things like chainsaws as part of a meditative experience. So when you first start to do meditation, you will focus on external sounds. So even if you focused on the sound of a chainsaw, eventually you could turn it into a meditation. I'm just throwing that out there for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to take your ear to your left shoulder as you inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to bring your head back up to center. So we're just going to inhale, drop the head to the side, exhale, bring it back up to center. I want you to really think about just relaxing and just dropping the shoulder and dropping the ear. So we're moving the shoulder blades down the back and we're really just dropping the ear. And we're going to go 5 times to one side and then we're going to do it on the other side. Again, Claudia, if anytime you're uncomfortable, pop a bolster underneath your bottom. You okay? Okay, one last little neck stretch. I want you to take your left ear to your left shoulder, and then I want you to extend the opposite arm out to the side, and that should give you a bigger extension right down the side of your, a bigger stretch, sorry, right down the side of your neck. And then come back to center, and we'll do it on the other side. Okay, I'll let that go. So, as I say, if you're working at a computer, anywhere where you feel that you're hunched and crouched and you need to release tension in your neck, it's a great thing to do, to just combine a very small movement with the breath and just release a bit of tension. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to listen to our voice, and Claudia and I have talked about this before, and it's kind of combining a bit of Eastern philosophy with a bit of Western philosophy. So when we have injury or damage to our thyroid, it corresponds with the fifth chakra in yogic philosophy. And the idea is that when you have damage to your fifth chakra, you have an inhibition in relation to using your voice. So you might find that you're not able to express yourself. So it's really important for us to get out there and express ourselves. And this is a really nice way to do it. This is one of my favorite breath practices that involves making a bit of noise and breathing. And I used to be incredibly inhibited about doing it because I would be like, oh God, I sound so weedy, and but now I'm just like, oh God, I'm doing it. So here we are, we're doing it. So what I want you to do, it's called Brahmari breath, hummingbee breath. You'll know it, Kayla. So and you've done it before, Claudia, haven't you? What we're doing is we're breathing in and then we're creating a vibrational sound in the back of our throat. And I'll demonstrate it for you, just because I can. I'll demonstrate it for you first, and then I'll get you to join in. So you're just going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, and then you can repeat it in cycles. So you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're creating that vibrational sound. And for anybody who really wants to kind of make sure that their thyroid is pulsing, you can focus on this area, and you can also add a sound, which is ham, and that's the sound that corresponds with this area. So, okay, so in your own time, ladies, give it a go. And the last thing that I'll invite you to do in terms of playing around with it is to, what you'll notice is that you can actually move the sound a little bit. So say, for example, we wanted to take the sound down into our kidneys. if you, I mean, just imagine that you're taking the sound down there, and what you'll find is the pitch is a little bit different. So think about taking the sound down there, and then think about bringing it right up to your head, and you'll notice that the pitch changes. So it's a really interesting thing to just play around with. So one last go. Fabulous. Thank you for singing along. Okay, right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a forward bend, but we're going to make it a little bit of a hip opener as well. But I want to make it really gentle. So if you maybe have your legs in a diamond shape rather than really close into you, you can even have them like this, whatever's more comfortable. And then you're going to put a bolster over your legs, and you're going to think about lifting up from your pelvis, so creating a really nice long spine. I want you to think again, because we're going to look at keeping that that thyroid going. So I want you to tuck your chin slightly, and then I want you just to rest over your bolster. So however's comfortable for you, you're lifting up and then just coming forwards. And again, although this is a bit of a hip opener, it's really helping us work on our adrenals. So if you think about breathing into that space at the back of your torso, supporting the adrenal glands. Sounds like our meditation tool is coming back online. Okay, so come back up to sitting. Pop your bolster to one side. And then we're now going to do a little twist. So if you take your feet out in front, I want you to bend your left leg and bring your foot in towards your bottom. And then I want you to take your right arm, breathe in, and as you breathe out, I just want you to take hold of your leg and do a nice gentle twist. I don't want you to do any mad twisting with your neck, so if you can try and keep your chin in line with your sternum. And we're just going to do a little twist. So really think about twisting your torso. So lifting up, you always create more space by breathing in and lifting up. And then once you've created more space, you can see if you can twist a little bit further. Okay, we'll let that go and then repeat that on the other side. So other leg. Bring your right leg in. Lift your arm up, breathe in, breathe out, and just hook your elbow around your knee. And then we're, as I say, we're creating space. So we're breathing in, lifting up, and twisting. Fabulous, and let that go. Okay, right, this is our biggie. We're moving to our biggie, which is another pose which is really good for the thyroid, and it's a little kind of a mini inversion, so turning ourselves upside down, which is always good to get the blood rushing to the head. The only difficulty might be some people are a bit uncomfortable sitting in this position. I don't know, I can't remember, Claudia, if, yeah. So you want to maybe pop a bolster under your knees to start off with. Just to start off with, I mean, we're not going to be in this position for very long, but you want to be comfortable at all times. So, I want you to think about lifting up out of your pelvis. So we're creating space between our pelvis and our rib cage, and we're dropping our shoulders away from our ears, moving our shoulder blades down our back. I want you to just drop your hands and arms at your sides, and what you're going to do is you're going to go for your feet. So we're trying to take our fingers to the outside of our feet with our thumbs hooked round our heels. You don't have to get there, it depends on the length of your arms, so you're not necessarily going to get there straight away. I can't, I'm kind of, so as we move forwards, that's where your hands and arms are, you're going to move back towards there. Okay, and we're creating this compression in our neck again, just so again we're activating the thyroid. I want you to take your chin towards your chest, and then I want you to move your chest towards your thighs. And then once your chest is towards your thighs, I want you to take the crown of your head as close to your knees as you can. And then I want you to start to raise your bottom away from your heels. And then if it's okay for you, create a bit of traction in your arms. Michaela, it's fine for you. So can you move forwards a bit? Can you take your hips a bit higher? Yeah. So the most important thing is we're just here because we're looking and working the thyroid. We're creating a bit of compression in the neck. Is this okay for your back, Michaela? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to move that bolster away from you now, see if it makes things a bit easier. Can you move your hands towards here and just...
My face.
Oh, right, okay. Bubble panic. So it's just a little bit of turning upside down, a little bit of compression on our neck, getting the thyroid going, and getting a bit of blood to the head, turning upside down. Always good. Okay, and whenever you've had enough, just roll back down. Fix your hair.
Yes.
And then we're just going to gently come onto our back. And just to finish, we're just going to open our chest a little bit. So we're going to finish with a little bit of chest opening. I want you to put whichever bolster feels most comfortable kind of along your bra strap area, just so that when you lie back on it, you're opening your chest. So give you an idea. Actually, could you pass me the bigger bolster? Just to demonstrate what I mean. So just looking for anything that gives you a little bit of a chest opener. Okay. And then again, we can refocus on the breath. This is it. Wherever they're comfortable, they look absolutely fine to me there. If they're comfortable for you, it's great. Okay, so I'm going to leave you for a few more minutes. You have the option either to leave the bolster where it is or take it out and just move into a normal Shavasana. I would invite you just to enjoy this beautiful surrounding. While there's no chainsaw, listen to the birds, just focus on the surroundings, what's happening around us. Okay, so in your own time, if you have a bolster, put it to one side, and then I just want you to roll onto your favourite side. And then bring yourself up to sitting. So we are joined by our meditation tool, and all the dogs have come to join us. How fabulous. Okay, thank you everyone. Namaste. Yeah, thank you ladies for coming and joining me in this short sequence to support our hormones. Yeah, great.